So welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to this space, to this moment where we can reflect and be still. So what I just want to share with you guys is enjoy the pleasure of your own company. Enjoy the presence of your own company. Enjoy the being of your own company. And what I mean by that is, do not be afraid to make time for yourself. Do not be afraid to be alone. Do not be afraid to journey within yourself, to face yourself. Even the parts that we try to bury, the parts that we try to, just the parts that we just don't like about ourselves, that we just try to ignore, we try to hide, and we never truly want to face the fullness of ourselves. We don't want to enjoy our own company. So we run to people and relationships and all these many different places that we can go to avoid dealing with ourselves, sitting with ourselves, being intimate with ourselves, learning ourselves. And, time that you spend alone, time that you spend by yourself, to yourself, is for you to learn yourself. Times when you're in isolation is where you can find God, is where you can hear God. Because when you're filled up with noise all the time, when you're filled up with, exterior things, worldly things, you're not at home. And home is you being able to be in your ultimate supreme being. When you're able to just sit in balance, when you're able to just sit in peace, when you're able to sit in the throne room of your divinity, when you're able to be comfortable with yourself enough to where it doesn't matter who comes and goes out of your life. It doesn't matter what happens to you in life, or what gets taken away, or what seemingly lost, or anything. You are always one with yourself and the all that I am. You're always one with Source, with the Creator. You're always one with yourself. Because relationships come and go, people come and go. 1 minute you could be living here, and then the next minute you could be living there. 1 minute this person can be alive, and then the next minute the person cannot be here anymore. Life is always changing. Change is constant, and change is something you can't avoid or stop or it's not like you can cheat change, because change happens even on the most subtle levels. You breaking your foot, that's a change. You break a nail, that's a change. You know what I'm saying? You gain a new perspective, that's a change. Your hair grows longer, that's a change. Your locks forming in a different way now, that's a change. After you have a child, that's a change. Change is always happening, no matter how big or how small. The universe is constant. And we have to learn how to adapt and change with this rhythm and flow. But we also have to know our own rhythm and flow, and how we know that is by knowing ourselves, by tapping in with ourselves, by tapping in with earth, by grounding, by walking barefoot, by just connecting, being by a tree, just being quiet, just hearing the wind, hearing the birds, so much to where you can hear the tree, you can hear the grass, you can hear the ants, because you are in ultimate relaxation, you are in ultimate stillness, peace, bliss. And you're being the observer, and you're just allowing and being. And ladies, I just want to let y'all know that it's okay to be single. It's okay to be by yourself. So many women seek to be in a relationship, and the so-called perfect relationship, and there is no perfect relationship. And when you base your perception off of celebrities and how you think that their relationship is, or you have these high expectations about a relationship and stuff, and it's like, first have a relationship with yourself. Deepen your love for yourself. Deepen your love for God. Deepen your love. Attune into yourself first. Know yourself first. Become whole again with self. Become whole again with your God essence. The indwelling spirit within you. Because if we search and seek so much outside of ourselves to feel us, to complete us, we will never be whole, because these outward things can never complete you. And they can give you a false satisfaction, a false feeling of feeling complete and whole, but it always goes away. So then you're chasing the next thing. You're in the next relationship. You're buying the next bag, the next purse, the next watch. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes a continuum it becomes a cycle to where it becomes, you're developing now toxic patterns and behaviors of this unsatisfaction, this void that you're constantly trying to fix and fill, and you just don't understand, or you just can't figure out why it's just not filled. And it's not filled because you're not going within yourself. Because see, it's one thing to watch videos, to talk with someone else, to read books and things like that, but when we actually go within ourselves, that's when we can truly know who we are, what we like, what we don't like. That's when we can hear our soul. That's when we can hear God. That's when we can hear our heart. That's when we can hear our womb. You know what I'm saying? Our womb and our heart is connected, and our throat. So when you start to voice your truth, it has to come from the seat. You might as well say like how our reproductive system sits, how our uterus, how our womb sits. It sits in a seat. Pretty much, basically. You can just say that. Like, our womb space is our throne room. And when we're standing up tall, in balance, in knowing, in trust, in our wholeness, in our completeness, that's us being aligned, our womb, our heart, and our throat. It's all connected, synced to be one. And this is what you listen to over your mind, your logical sense, because your heart and your womb space is your intuitive, gut feeling, intuition center. And your throat is you voicing that truth. You're voicing that revelation, or you're defending yourself, speaking up for yourself, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because when we don't speak our truth as women, we hold that in our womb space. So, if somebody hurt you, did you wrong, and like, let's just say you never said nothing about it, but you held on to it within your body, your body stores that. And until you do the work to release that, it's going to stay stored within your body, and it can create disease. It can create a form of chaos. It can cry out. It can call out to have your attention for you to do something about it. But, until we start to be intimate with ourselves and get to know ourselves, then we will always operate in a place of dysfunction, chaos, or just anxiety or neediness, or just feeling like we can't go on or live because we need a person, we need a thing, or we need to have this or have that, or whatever the case may be. But I just encourage you guys to just sit with yourself, love yourself, honor yourself, hear yourself, appreciate yourself. Appreciate your body's wisdom to be able to communicate to you when there is a problem or issue or anything like that, because a lot of times our physical ailments is a reflection of something inward going on, whether it's spiritual or emotional, because our emotions can also affect us on a deep level to where it can become a physical manifestation of something, like a yeast infection or just womb pain, cramps, and it can just it goes on. But we're so intuitive. We just have to tap in, and we have to take time to hear and listen, and to just sit with ourselves, to just be. Healing is so essential, and healing is not the surface level healing of how Instagram portrays it. Healing is just like what I'm doing right now. Healing could be, very simple things. Just us learning more on a deeper level of what it is that we truly want out of life, out of relationships, anything like that. But when we just set aside all of the left brainness of thinking, and be more in tune with our right brain, none of that shit even matters. What the world think, or what we should be doing, or anything like that. What you should be doing is just being, just tapping in with life, with creation. You know what I'm saying? The world tells us that we should be constantly doing something. But ultimately, we need to just be present. We need to just be here. We need to just be flowing and feeling and becoming more aware and in tune with life itself. Because for so long we have been out of touch with nature. We've been out of touch with life, with the earth, with our natural rhythm and flow, with our natural cycles. Humanity has been sold a complete lie. Humanity has been sold into slavery. Everybody's a slave to some degree. But it's only when we break out of these loops and karmic patterns and cycles is when we can finally just be at rest and peace. We can enter into that rest. Like I have entered into rest. Me just choosing this morning, this rising, me choosing this day to make time for myself to come and sit at the park. I chose this because why not? Choose to start your day off right. Choose to start your day off with God, with yourself. Choose to start the day off with you being at peace. Don't start the day on the phone. Don't start the day already trying to just jump into a task. This is the time where you would meditate, where you would just sit and just allow everything to just wake up. Allow yourself to just fully wake up and be present in your day, in your moment, in your now. Excuse me. Just grant yourself the permission to make the necessary changes and adjustments that needs to be made to support your soul's growth and well-being and your overall health, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health, all of that. And, I just want to say that I'm grateful and I'm thankful to be able to have this for myself and to just be able to just share in thought that this could possibly, help someone in their day, in their awakening, in their now moments, in their life, period. Because this is what matters most, more than anything, is your soul, is your well-being. Are you okay? Are you tapped into yourself to know when you're okay and when you're not? And then to identify, well, if I'm not okay, what's wrong? And then what am I going to do about it? Am I going to release this? Or am I going to hold on to it? Am I going to transmute this energy, this feeling, these emotions, these thoughts? Am I going to release these things that no longer serve me? Or am I going to hold on to it and keep recycling this energy for it to just keep coming back up subconsciously over and over again through different ways until I'm forced to deal with it? Enjoy your own company. Enjoy yourself before you go trying to give yourself to someone else or just the world. Get to know you first. Love yourself first. Complete yourself first. Honor yourself first. Respect yourself first, because everything starts with self and it ends with self. We come in the world by ourselves and we're going to die by ourselves. Well, transition. Because life is continuum. This is just one form. So, once you start to do that, then you can have a greater appreciation and understanding for everything else around you. And know that within you is that peace that surpasses understanding, because the indwelling Christ, the indwelling spirit, that particle, that essence of God is in you. And when we just silence out the world and the noise and the distractions, we can always find God. We can always find that essence. We can always find that truth. And out of that truth, we can start to build a new life around that truth. We can start to build boundaries around that truth. We can start to cultivate around that truth. We can start to navigate around that truth. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I'll see you in my next video.